Hello everyone! So today I'm coming to you with a book haul, a more of a collective book haul. I would say this is not the amount of book I would normally buy, but it's been Christmas and during Christmas I received quite a lot of Christmas money, so I decided to spend them on books, as you do when you are totally and utterly in love with books. So there's quite a lot of books. A few of them I actually bought in December, but they're gonna count in here because, well, I have nowhere else to put them. So there's gonna be quite a lot of books, so bear with me and yeah, let's get on with it. So first off, I am going to start with three more of pamphlets than they are books. It is three of the Penguin Little Black classics. These are basically Penguin short stories, classical short stories that Penguin released for the 80th anniversary. So I have three of them I picked out, there's 80 in total. In the UK they only cost 80p, but over here they cost about £1.20, I'd say, which is what, a dollar maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I picked number 16, Travels in the Land of Serpents and Pearls by Marco Polo. Then I picked number 67, It Was Snowing Butterflies by Charles Darwin. And The Robber Bridegroom, number 68 by the Brothers Grimm. I have no idea what these are about. I assume they're just little classical stories. I love Charles Darwin, I love the Brothers Grimm, and I love the TV series Marco Polo. So I hope I will like this Marco Polo as well. So the next book is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have only read a couple of Neil Gaiman and most of them are well, his graphic stuff. So Coraline, The Graveyard Book, some of the comics he does and stuff like that. I have, however, read The Ocean at the End of the Lane and I loved it. His writing is fantastic. So I picked this up, I wanted to read more by him, and this is about Shadow, a man called Shadow, who is just a few days before he's released from prison. His wife gets killed in a mysterious car crash and he's devastated, and on the way back home he meets this man called Mr. Wednesday and they go on these adventures, and I think there's some like magical or paranormal aspects in this book. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to read it. Next we have a non-fiction book, which is not something I normally reach for. I don't really know why. I really want to read more non-fiction, but as someone who loves science, I had to pick up A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, which is, well, basically a brief history of time. It tells, from a scientific perspective, about time. If we can, was there a beginning of time? Can we travel back through time? What is time? So I'm very excited to read this. I have another Stephen Hawking book as well, which I haven't actually read yet, and I don't know why, but I'm really excited to get to these. Next is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I haven't yet read any Robin Hobb, which is surprising because I love fantasy. It's my favourite genre, and I just thought it was time. It was time to embark on the Robin Hobb journey, and people told me to start with the Farseid trilogy, which, well, this is the first book. And it's about a royal bastard called Fitz, who is cast out of the royal court to just be on his own, pretty much, and he's got this magical power called the wit, I think, the width, in which he can, he has this magical link with animals, and I love animals, so why not? I think he gets accepted back into the royal court, or a different royal court, I don't know. But that's basically all I know about this book, but I'm very excited to read it. The next 3 books are by the fantasy master himself, JRR Tolkien, and I am starting off with The Children of Húrin. Children of Húrin is a tale before Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. It is about the first Dark Lord, Morgoth, and the war against the elves, I think. I don't know that much about this book actually, but it is J.R.R. Tolkien. It has elves, it has Dark Lords, it probably has orcs and stuff in it as well, so that's really all I need to know, because I love him. Then we have The Silmarillion, which also is by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is, I think, the creation of the world and story in the First Age, where they create the Silmaril, which is 3 jewels. I think one of the elves, what's it called? Fëanor created these 3 perfect jewels, and the first Dark Lord Morgoth stole them. So now the elves have to get them back, and I'm very excited because everyone says this is brilliant, and I haven't read it yet. So yeah. And then the last Tolkien book is Unfinished Tales. This is Unfinished Tales. This is tales set in Middle-earth. This just a collection of stories. It's one of them is Gollum's Capture by Aragorn and Sauron's Hunt for the Ring. Then another one is The History of Galadriel and Celeborn and The Legend of Amaroth. And then obviously there are a few more. This book is, well, not that thick, but it's, let's see, about 500 pages long. So there's quite a few stories here, and I'm very excited to read them, especially the Galadriel one, because she is the ultimate bae. Then we have The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. This is volume 1 in the Shannara Chronicles, where I think this is like an ancient evil ruling the world, and they have to fight it. I'm not that sure actually, because I watched the TV series, the first episodes that are out, and I loved it, and I wanted to read the books. And I know you can start with the second one, I'm well aware of that, but I wanted to start with the first one because, well, I want the full Shannara Terry Brooks experience. So yeah, that's that one. The next book is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This is a book about Jake Epping, I think he's called, who is an English teacher, and he has to go through this portal back in time to prevent the Kennedy assassination. That's really all I know about this book. There's Kennedy in the car with his wife on the cover, and that's all I know. I've had a difficult time getting into Stephen King. I've tried reading The Shining multiple times. I can't get into it. I got halfway through Carrie, I quit, and so I thought if I go from it from a different angle, not the horror angle, but the more time travel-y sci-fi angle, or whatever you want to call it, maybe I can get into his writing a bit more. So that's that one. Then we have Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I've already read this. I loved it. It is heartbreaking, but it's also quite funny. It's about this girl who gets a job with that, let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, quadruple. I don't know how you pronounce it, but basically he can't move anything from like up here down. He can move. He's got a little movement in his fingers, and he can speak and stuff. But that's about it. And he's in a wheelchair, and she gets hired as his caretaker, and It is a heartbreaking story, but it's so good. I recommend it to everyone. The next book is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I don't know a lot about this book other than people seem to love it. They rave about this and tell me I have to read it. So I'm gonna read it and I hope I enjoy it. I heard there is another one coming out fairly soon. I don't know what it's called, but I will read this, and if I love it, I'm gonna pick up the other one when it comes out. I'm very excited about this. It's been very hyped, and I hope it lives up to the expectations. Then we have another book that I do not know a lot about, but it's a fantasy book, so I just picked it up, and it is The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. It is number 1 in the Night Angel trilogy. I think this is about an assassin who takes on an apprentice and has to educate him to be an assassin, but I'm not sure. But I love tales about assassins, just as I love games about assassins. So I saw Assassin and I was like, okay, I'm getting this book. It's quite chunky. It is about 645 pages, but most fantasy are, so I went for it anyway. The next book I picked up is actually a Swedish book. I read a Swedish book for the first time in years, and that is A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. I read this book because the film was about to come out, and me and my dad really wanted to go watch it, so I powered through this book, and it was amazing. I highly recommend it. You get a good view, I would say, into how the Swedish society is, or how it is to live in Sweden. It's a really funny book. It's basically about this man called Ove. Ooh, who would have thought? He's 59 years old, his wife has passed away, they had no children, and he's basically, he wants to kill himself. And he tries over and over again to kill himself, but he keeps on being interrupted. So that's his story about trying to kill himself in his life. And I really recommend this book. It was really, really good, and I want to read the rest of Fredrik Backman's books. I actually have not the second one, because this is a standalone book, but I think he released this after this one, and I can't remember what it's called, but I have that book, so I'm gonna read it at some point. And yeah, I thought it was really good. The next 2 books are 2 that everyone seems to love. I read the first one about a year ago on the coach back to the airport in London, and I didn't love it. I liked it. It was really good. I don't think I was in the right mindset to read it. I was feeling a bit sick, and I wasn't really into it. But I decided to pick the second one up, which is Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. It is the second novel in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy. And I loved it. It was so good. It was so much better than the first one. I might just have to reread the first one to see if I change my opinion, but it was amazing. I'm not gonna tell you anything about this book because everything would be a spoiler, but the first book is basically about this guy called Jacob who goes to this island, which his grandpa, who has passed away, is talking about. He talks about his adventures with these peculiar children during the Second World War. I think it's the Second World War. Yeah, it is the Second World War. And stuff. So he wants to find out about this. And it's really good. And along with that, I have Library of Souls, which is the third one. And can we just appreciate the covers? The covers are always so beautiful. And I am excited to see what Ransom Riggs brings out in the future. I haven't read this third one. I read Hollow City and then immediately ordered Library of Souls. So I'm really excited to see what happens, the conclusion, Jacob and Emma, I just have to put it out there. I'm so excited to see what happens. So yeah. The next book, I do not know a lot about, but it said on the cover that it is quite similar to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I love. It is one of my favourite books, so I had naturally to pick it up. And it's The End of the World as We Know It by Sashi Lloyd. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered her name, but it's Sachi or Saki or Sashi or something like that. And I don't know anything else than that it's supposed to be similar to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And really, that was all I needed to know. I love this cover. This cover is absolutely beautiful. So that's really all I went on. The cover and the fact that it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy-ish. So that's that one. Then I picked up Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. This book has a hair on it. This book, I don't know a lot about, except for the blurb on the back, which basically says that she gets an English assignment to write a love letter to the dead, and then she gets addicted and keeps writing love letters to different dead famous people. That's really all I know. It's a young adult book, and I'm quite excited about it. And the cover, yet again, is really beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. The second to last book, I've seen quite a lot of a booktube, and it is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. I don't know if this is her debut novel, but I've never heard about her before. But first of all, yet again, the cover. I pick out very good covers. No, but this is set in Northern Iceland in 1829, I believe. And it's about this girl who is taken in by a family, unwillingly by the family, because she is condemned to death. She is supposed to be, I don't know if it's hanged, but she's supposed to be killed because she has murdered someone. And it's the family story and her story, and I'm very excited about it. Then the last book I have to show you is a graphic novel, and it is Honor Girl, a graphic memoir by Maggie Trash, and it is basically her story when she was younger. I think she was maybe 15 or something, and she went to this all girls camp every summer, and one year she fell in love with another girl, and it is basically that story. And I love LGBTQ plus books, and I love graphic novels, and first of all, it's so beautiful on the outside. That's what drew me to it in the first place, just space and the stars. And then the artwork on the inside is also gorgeous. It's more of a cartoonish sort of art, but I really like it. It's really simple, it's got these really beautiful mute colours, and I think it's really gorgeous, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I will probably read it once I finished A City of Heavenly Fire, which I have 60 pages or something left off. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So that was my December, January-ish book haul. I hope you enjoyed this. I will probably not do a book haul for a very long time because I'm a student, I'm broke, this is a lot of books, and I can't afford buying any more. But I'm really excited to read off these books, so once I've read them, I'll come back to you, I'll do a review. If you want a review of some of these individual books, let me know in the comments, and I will do them. Or I will just include them in my wrap-up whenever I have read them. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!